Hi friends, this is DaintyTank. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to First Snow. This is a Yuri visual novel that popped up. It's free. Free. So, give it a try. It's on Steam. And it looks absolutely adorable. I mean, look at this. Just mood, right? Hanging out, feeling the cold coming in on you while you're sitting on the balcony. Looks like almost like a Yoshi's Woolly World type of balcony, which really worries me. But on the flip side, you're also made of paper, so chill, I guess. But this looks really cute. I thought it would be fun, so why don't we do this together? Yeah? Yeah. And before you do this together, subscribe so we can stay together forever. First and always. Alright, here we go. Let's play. Boop, boop, boop. I mean, look at that. Cute little animations. Boop. Oh. Okay, new game. The first snow of the year should be a comforting sight, yet this carries a different feeling when so far from home. Oh? Winter has always been my favorite time of year, but the joy of warm fires and upcoming holidays is missing. There's only a month left to go until the season begins in earnest, but I can't feel any of the usual excitement. The coming winter will be the first I've spent away from my family after all. It's just me now, standing alone on the concrete balcony, and looking out onto the gray sky. Hey Allison, aren't classes soon? A woman's barking from down below breaks me out of my thoughts. Her familiar figure clad in leather. Stares up, snow heaped on the rusted shovel in her hands. Looks like the heating's died again. The inside of the apartment no warmer than out there. This new home might be a little shabby, but at least it's ours. A quick glance at my phone as I walk to get my coat and bag confirms her to be right. The morning's message from a friend still showing on the screen. Ooh, big news, Allie. Yay. Tell you later in bio. Yay. Heart. Oh my. The idea of big news at this, of all times, fills me with worry. I'm already too busy just trying to keep up with my new life. With time marching on, I quickly slip the phone back into my coat and set off for the stairs. I shouldn't have a problem making it to class if I keep a good pace. That's fair. Oh, hi. The busily shoveling woman is still working away, her efforts obvious to see. Snowfall's been impressive for a single night, but a good amount's already been cleared. Her heavy breathing easily visible in the cold air. Keeping a brisk pace as much as to get to my classes as on time as it is to try and warm myself up, I try to wave a quick goodbye. It's obvious she won't let me go without giving her 2 cents, though, as she puts her shovel against the wall, takes a good stretch. Morning, Rose. Working hard already? Hardly working. Yeah. Did you just become 2D and flip? Okay, I joke about it, but on the flip side, it's a really cool way to transition facial features. I think that's gorgeous. Someone's gotta do it. Not like those useless lumps will. Whoop. Rose jerks her head towards the apartment. She's not really wrong, but her usual tactlessness is on full display. You all bundled up? Looks like winter's coming early. Going by the paper. I'll be fine. Don't worry. Just take it easy on the way there, right? I will. Weak smile in her response as I stare off down the road. She knows that I'm right. This is hardly the first exchange we've had like this. Every other morning, Rose comes up There's something or another to definitely not be concerned about. Not mine, though. The kindness is one of her better traits. Is it kindness or is it... Is it kindness or is it flirting? It's hard to guarantee. Is it kindness or is it flirting? It's lesbian in these. Anyways, don't sue me. It's not suing, it's copyright. The weather's been getting steadily colder for a while now. The few workers braving the morning chill are slowly making their way to the bus station for work. Those staying behind grumbling as they shovel snow from the roofs of their car and their driveways. There aren't many students down this way as I walk, however. Student accommodation filled up fast, and nearby apartments were all rented out soon after that. Thank goodness we're a family friend offering to let me live with them. Hopeful as Rose may be, there's still some sense of being a foreigner. It's only been 2 months since I moved in and started classes at college. My circle of high school friends and boisterous family home turning overnight to a cramped apartment shared between Rose and I. Oh? So your family friend is Rose? Rose is... Oh. Got it. As the school buildings come to view, I join the tired masses staggering through the gates and towards their classes. Much as I might worry, I know I'm not alone. I'm sure many of the students around me right now going through exactly the same thing. It's only now that I realize I haven't had my usual morning coffee back at the apartment to wake myself up. With a little time before biology class starts, I'll have to content myself with a quick can of soda from the vending machine. Oh no! Heading over to the Union Building on the way to class, the morning's chill driving away the usual gaggle of those sitting on the stairs and blocking the entrance. That was a noise. Rubbing my hands together to summon some warmth, I head on in. With the heat being cranked up, right up, you can almost forget it's winter outside. My relief doesn't last long, however. My heart immediately stops as deafening clatter comes from ahead. Couple walking arm in arm skirt around the edge of the room, doing their best not to draw the attention of a blonde woman nearby. She grumbles loudly before delivering another kick to the poor, abused vending machine in front of her. I hate situations like these. Either I do nothing and feel bad for not helping, or step in, deal with the stress that comes with confronting someone involved. As I try to walk my way out of this, my heart freezes as the woman locks eyes with me. I must make for a pitiful sight with my hands raised defensively in front of me. Her rage calming as she settles for staring daggers at the machine. Resigned to my fate, I reluctantly shuffle towards her as my heart beats wildly. As I do, her dour look is only made all the more intimidating from the bags under her eyes. And cute sweater, I like it. Turtleneck. Is something wrong? My girl. Stupid thing ain't my money. No can or change at all. Threw $5 in there too. $5? What were you trying to buy? The vending machine here messes up sometimes. It's usually better to go through the cafeteria for drinks. They should fix it then. Recounting the event only serves to stir up her annoyance, another foot being jammed into the accused. Horrible noise makes me cringe again. I'm starting to worry she'll hurt herself as much as the machine itself. Don't kick it again. Why not? Thing's already broken, isn't it? I want to say that I'd rather not get in trouble with the staff, but I get the feeling that won't faze her. Reviewing my options as quickly as I can, there's only one situation I can think of that might settle her down. Probably shouldn't, but if no one's paying much attention... Which drink did you want? She gives me a curious look after I manage to squeak the words out, but eventually points. I was just grabbing a lemonade on my way out. Can you turn around for a moment? With a great reluctance, she turns around as I ask. I doubt she could work out what I'm doing by looking, but it's better to be safe than sorry. I was about to say, there's a couple ways you can deal with this. Closing my eyes and silently mouthing the right sequence to make sure I don't mess it up. I go by my business. With any luck, the software inside hasn't been updated since I last tested this. A long sigh of relief passes my lips as the vending machine rattles away, loudly dumping a can into the small opening. Holding the can before the blonde woman's face as she turns around, my reward is a somewhat impressed expression as she takes the item. Now that she has her drink and has had a chance to get her frustration out of her system, she seems to be calming down a little. Her height doesn't help her look any less intimidating, though. With that, I consider the matter settled as I nod. I begin to walk away. Only as I leave do I realize my heart's racing after having to deal with her. Hey, wait up. Reaching out for my instinctual response, I pretend not to hear her as I skitter away and disappear back through the entrance. The cold hits me like a wall as I leave through the door. I hardly mind, heaving a sigh to steady myself as I head towards classes. All I remember now that I had intended to grab a drink myself, but fiddling with the machines probably made me late. The empty campus grounds makes me nervous, making me take out my phone in hand to check the time. Quick glance is all I need that send me dashing towards the sciences building. That's fair. It's gonna be one of those days. Oh? Panting from the run, I stagger into the biology class with as much composure as I can muster. The sight seems to make a pitiful impression on the so you know I made a noise. So you know we're having ASMR with DaintyTank, and this is happening. Why did I choose to pick up the snowball? I don't know. I haven't done this in so long. I did it when I first picked up. I thought it was fun. I had fun. I hope you're having fun. I don't think so. Because this is in your ear. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Anyways, beyond that, I do have aphasia. I got hit in the head. Rugby, doo-da-da. Words mix up sometimes. Words delete sometimes. Words substitute sometimes. It just makes for a more fun reading experience. You don't hear me say every word on the screen. You know why? Because sometimes you get some fun mixes. It's called the DaintyTank remix. Comment below. Alright, back to it. Panting from the run, I stagger into biology class with as much composure as I can muster. The sight seems to make a pitiable impression on the professor. He merely nods for me to take a seat. Setting my bag next to me, I quickly take a seat next to a now familiar figure. The diminutive Caprice shoots a grin and a wave as I sit, earning a smile in return. It's nice to see a friendly face. As the professor gets back to lecturing, I grab my still pristine textbook from my bag, flicking to the bookmark I'd added for where we currently are. Movement from the corner of my eye takes my attention. Ripped piece of scrap pad sliding before me. Oh no, your perfect attendance record. What happened? Her writing is surrounded by various doodles and scribbles already on the page. I should pay attention to class, but it isn't that easy to wave Caprice off. Plus, she's got really cute bubble handwriting. Then again, this is largely reviewing what we covered in high school right now. Probably want her to chat with her a bit. Oh my god, that's cute. Got held up with someone. I write a brief reply and a little accompanying drawing before sliding it back over. A quick look at the professor, making sure the coast is clear as he drones on. Meow. Oh, that's a face. Caprice's reply as the page is passed back makes me grimace. Should have expected that. I almost reply before noticing the professor casting a knowing glance my way. As he continues with his teaching. He knew what we were doing, didn't he? Of course he knew. Thinking better of it, I tuck the page beneath my textbook and start listening properly. I don't need to look at Caprice to know her reaction. I hardly think worse of her for it, though. Swapping doodles during these classes was how she broke the ice with me when I was just another lonely freshman student. Shy one at that. Given we're still friends, I suppose it worked. 2 months, I was about to say. Sneaking glance back at the page beneath my book reminds me how well the mercurial girl can draw. At least compared to me. She mentioned one time that she's also taking art classes, which must be paying off. Before I knew it, the class starts winding up. The other students begin to get distracted as time goes on. The professor starting to wrap things up in response. No sooner do the words come from his mouth that the class is over, just the loud clatter of people packing up books and pens to their bags and backpacks begin. Caprice wastes no time in talking as the two of us do the same. I was worried you were sick today, Allie. I was only a couple minutes. For you, that's a lot. Just point. It's likely I was more concerned about this than the teacher. After near perfect attendance through high school, though, the last thing I want is to set a bad expectation from the staff here. Yeah, but perfect attendance is kind of a problem. Especially in America, perfect attendance is actually a very bad thing to do because it encourages bad behavior of going in when you're sick. And expectation of going in when you're sick. And so you get other people sick. And thus, pandemics. Anyways. Paninis. Global paninis. Saying that aside, I'm not sure the professor really likes us passing notes to each other in class. No, but, it's cute. Don't worry about him. He's cool. We've talked. We've talked? Well, if you're sure. I do like seeing your drawings. Aw, and I like seeing yours. I'm glad you're here today, actually. I've been thinking, and I need your help with something. We're making an art club. But there's already an art. Wait, why is there a we there? How am I part of this? You're a founding member, of course. The new art club. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Great job. Fantastic job. Why do I get the feeling Caprice has been mulling this over in her head for ages? Plans seem to already be in motion for her, and I'm not sure what choice I have left in this. I'm left to mull things over as I take my coat from the back of the seat and slip it on. Two of us taking our bags and joining the others and heading out into the hallway. I hadn't even considered joining a club, let alone setting one up with all the work that entail. I can help, but I have my schoolwork to concentrate on, Getting a scholarship wasn't easy, and I'd rather not lose it. Right. You were majoring in chemistry, weren't you? I give a nod, albeit a slightly guilty one. Not that I dare have told my family, but I only picked chemistry because I happen to be good at it. Like most things in my life, I just went with the default option before me. At least Caprice seems to have moved on from me being part of this. I have enough going on in my life between moving to a new home and studying for college. I think about spending time in clubs and things. I'm surprised you're taking biology classes, to be honest. Aren't you more into art? It's hard to pick a favorite, but right now, bio is just the entry-level stuff. It's just so boring, right? I talked to the professor, though, and we're getting into some marine life chapters soon. That seems very specific. It's the most interesting part. I gotta focus hard when we get there. I plan on making it my major. You were cute. So even a free spirit like Caprice has something she's working towards. Seems I can't get away from how much of a mess my life is. no idea what to do for a career. It's okay, most people don't know what to do for a career. I didn't know what to do for a career. I tried 3 different major paths. And you know what stuck? None of them. You know what I do? I do videos on the internet. Subscribe and help me out. I have student loans. The 2 of us head outside with our next classes in other buildings. As we do, I look around warily as students from other classes pass by, rather than not bump into that angry woman again. Who are you held up with? But anyway, bump into a friend? That would require there to be another beyond her in the first place. She's about the last person I call a friend. Kind of scary, actually. She might have been asking out of small talk before, but now I have her full interest. With reluctance, I think back to the event. Not sure if you'd know her. Tall, blonde, green eyes, very sharp look with high boots, kind of pretty. Now I have time to think about it. She was quite beautiful, and more than her body, too. I liked her sense of fashion. I think I know who you're talking about, actually. You do? Yep. Our other founding member. There it is. She hasn't dropped the idea of me joining at all, and now wants her, of all people, to be part of this. My reaction to the news apparently shows on my face. If we're thinking of the same person, I've seen her around, and I've heard some things. She floats around the art department a lot, so the other art club tried to grab her. She didn't even pretend to consider it, just told them to get lost. Which means she's still free! If she already rejected one club, why would she join another? Because it's led by me, of course! I just sigh. I need to get my next class. Being late for one today is already too much. I resign to my feet. I already wave goodbye and start to head off. Not more than a couple of seconds later, I hear her calling out behind me. Ah, before you go! Meet me on the 2nd floor of the arts building after classes, okay? We need to get started on finding a club room and stuff. Looks like she's like I'm going to be a part of the scheme, whether I like it or not. Dealing with that woman again makes me shudder. But she'll surely just reject Caprice, and that'll be that. Shirley? Her name's not Shirley, it's Caprice. Walking through the halls at these hours is a wholly different experience to a normal hustle and bustle. Where students gossiped in the hallways, organized dates, and hurried between classes with arms full of overpriced books, there's now a sweet silence. All to be seen at the hour is the odd straggler thinking more about dinner than schoolwork. Well, them and the Christmas decorations. I get the feeling that the arts and humanities staff take some enjoyment out of getting ready for the occasion. Much like the school itself, the decorations look a bit ragged, probably hauled out every year for decades. With little to do until Capri shows up, exploring the arts building and peering into this classroom, or that winds up passing the time. Heading up the stairs, I take my time, strolling through the hallways. Everything is bathed in this orange of sunset, the quiet of the halls giving the building a serene atmosphere. It's calming after the day's events. Isn't until a good few minutes pass that I find the first thing of my much interest, a single room with a door left open. With curiosity getting the better of me, I stroll up the hallway and gingerly step inside. At least I can close the door for them. With only a couple of chairs already set against walls, I think the room unused, if not for the paint, papers, and sketchbooks strewn across the tops of the cupboards. If Caprice wanted a club room, this would be as good as any. Whoa, look at that. Whoa. As I peer about the sight of one particular canvas, amongst it all catches my eye. The painting of a woman, standing a woman in water, sits, drawing on the easel, the painter's utensils still laying about. We get closer here. Stepping up to look at it, I'm surprised by how old-fashioned it is. Like the kind of oil painting that would be drawn a century or so ago. Every brushstroke and line has depth to it. The painter's every movement clearly visible. I find myself struck by its beauty, time slipping by me as I stare. Her soft-looking skin, flowing locks of hair are enough to make me wistfully sigh. Her face telling of her free spirit. It's beautiful. My thoughts are suddenly interrupted by the creak of a door opening further, causing me to whip around in a fright. The particular person standing in the doorway looking straight at me does nothing to settle my racing heart, much less the fact that I had not even supposed to be in here. Sorry, I mean, I quickly try to stammer something out, but the words keep catching in my throat. Oh, it's vending machine girl. Allison. Allison Merlot. So, do you have a name? So you do have a name. I'm Eileen Turner, for what it's worth. I quickly nod. For all my nervousness about maybe being somewhere I shouldn't, Eileen doesn't actually seem to care that much. In fact, she almost looks bored. If this room's used by a bunch of people, there's a good chance she might not know I'm an intruder. Well, I'm gonna close the place up. If you want anything, you should grab it. I'm gonna close it up. Steal if you want to. Thanks. Not that I think you have anything here. The cold edge in her voice freezes my entire body. I mean, I can explain. Eileen narrows her eyes and crosses her arms, waiting for my response. The response which is interrupted by a familiar voice booming from the entrance. Hi, bitches! It's Caprice! Hey, Allie. I don't think I've ever been so glad to see Caprice, given this art club business was her idea. It's for the best if she explains it all. Eileen doesn't look impressed as Caprice skips into the room, looking this way and that like some tourist. Good work. You already found us a room. This will work perfectly. So, Caprice got herself a goon? I wish I was surprised. Yep. You're not supposed to agree with that. And what do you want this room for, pray tell? Well, the current art club is awful. I'm sure you know. So instead of dealing with them, we're going to form our own. And it looks like you and Allie have found us our club room. I see what's happened here now. Caprice engineered the situation so we'd be all here together. This isn't a very subtle scheme, but it's all the more reason for her to have come up with it. I try my best to backpedal in a way that doesn't upset her. I just thought we'd draw a bit. Didn't mean to intrude. I got permission to use this room to practice my painting, not for some dub club. Sorry, but it's 2 against 1, majority rule. I didn't say anything about a club. Well, too bad. This is a dictatorship. Eileen stands her ground, staring down her opponent as I try my best to stay well out of their argument. Her resolve doesn't last long, though. Realizing the futility of it, she eventually heaves a sigh at Caprice's antics. I can't say I wholly blame her. I just want to work in peace. That isn't much to ask. But I'm going. Not going to get anything more done today anyway. Eileen turns to me after picking up her coat from her desk and pulling a scarf around her, rather pointedly before finishing with Caprice. See you around, I guess. Yeah. At a loss for how I'm supposed to respond to such an unenthusiastic tone, I'm left standing silently by a frustrated Eileen as a frustrated Eileen throws her backpack over her shoulder and strides out. Caprice just smiles and shrugs as she looks back at me at the argument they had just moments ago, flowing off her like water off a duck's back. No big deal. That's how it is. I feel like I got dragged into something. I don't really think that'd work, but it was worth a try. She's not listening to me at all. Am I really just an instrument to try and win this argument between them? No, I can't think that. Caprice is forceful, but she means well. If this did end up being a club, I'd probably enjoy it. Caprice certainly wouldn't make it dull. I think if Aline got to know me, she'd be nicer to me, but I don't want to risk Aline getting even more annoyed at me. Feels like I've been left to hunker down in a foxhole in no man's land, and all I can do right now is hold my helmet on tight. As the orange of the sunset starts to wane outside, it becomes obvious that nothing more is going to get done today, just as Aline said. I'd better head home. It's getting late. See you tomorrow. See ya! If you want to draw, feel free to drop by the new club room! Precisely none of what Aline said penetrated, did it? I just give a weak smile as I wave and take my bag, idly wondering if Rose will be cooking something for dinner or bringing home takeout. It's something more heartening to think about than today's efforts anyway. It's fair. As I collapse onto the couch and settle in, the deafening sound of silence rushes in. The odd passing car from the street below the apartment only highlights the quiet of the room. Plucking my phone from my pocket after dropping my bag on the cushion beside me, I take quick note of the time. I guess Rose got stuck in traffic. It was cute. An annoying train of thoughts starts up once again as I put away. One that's crept up on me occasionally ever since moving out. Just waiting for when nothing's around to distract me. I can cope with the schoolwork easily enough. It's mostly just review right now. People like Caprice might be a handful, but they do liven the day's routine. It's a fair distance to campus from here, but the walk helps keep me fit. The silence. That I can't deal with. Grabbing the remote and flicking on television at least provides some background noise, but it's no replacement for the sounds of home. There's no mother busying herself in the cooking pot to welcome me home and ask how my day was. No excitable older brothers fighting about this silly thing or that. No father for me to happily see me come home from work. Just me. Now. My fingers roll over the screen in thought as it brings up the lock screen, mindlessly tracing out the cracks in the bottom corner. I could easily call them right now. My mom and dad both made it clear I could ring any time at all. I stare at the screen. Deep apathy strikes me. Before college, I thought that with my family and old friends just a phone call away, nothing would feel all that different. Maybe I just couldn't admit to myself how big of a change this would really be. Admitting defeat, the phone ends up on the couch beside me as I watch television. News is interesting today, so at least it's some distraction from all this. Just when I thought I'd finally found a friend or two in college, it ends up being a mess. Why do people have to be so complicated? Why'd you have to go and be so complicated? Because as the door behind me opens, I close my thoughts on the subject. There's no point mulling things over any further. Aw, that was a cute little panda in the corner there. Art matters. Achievement. Act 1. That's pretty. Very pretty. You're pretty. I like the art style and I love the words. They're very easy to read compared to a lot of visual novels. For some reason, it's just clicking with me a little bit easier. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you come back. Check it out. Let me know your thoughts. With that, I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye.